been rolled off from my feet. It appeared as if I was in a nightmare. I could not believe that what was happening was true. I had never experienced anything like this in my life. I've never even seen it in a movie. Oh God. I and Mother Gloria said of where we pursued the children night and day. We did not sleep. We were crying around, going around. The police was directing us from one place to another, It took almost 2 weeks before we were able to find out where that the William SCHRIKKER were with the children and the RAAD from the Kinderbeschemming. We took lawyers, we went to court. The reason they gave us for taking the children was that Mother Gloria was too weak to protect the children. That's the only reason they gave to us that made sense. That she was too weak to protect the children. Of course, I know that she had a problem with her previous 2 children, but I had stepped in and stabilized that. Still, the people were giving trouble. They also said that I, the father, that I'm too aggressive for my children. You see what the story that they're coming up with? The mother is too weak to protect the children. The father is too aggressive to protect the children or to protect the mother or what? You know, they just shroud themselves in lies and lies and lies. The Children Protection Agency, that is the Bureau ZORG, the William SCHRIKKER, and the RAAD from the Kinderbeschemming, using their license, have used their license to do despicable evil, cruelty, and wickedness to families of immigrants, to low-income people, and to black people in Holland. They are trafficking our children. They traffic our children. They traffic the children of poor, weak, voiceless parents. They forcefully take our children from us and give our children to unknown strangers. From these unknown strangers for foster parenthood. Our children are used to gratify the satanic sexual perversion and lust of some powerful individuals in this country. They use our children as puppets, as dolls, as household pets, as dogs, as sex slaves. How more cruel can one get than to forcefully take away the children of another person and give to another man only because you have the power to do so? How more cruel can the organizations be than giving these children to broken homes, lesbians, homosexual couples, and to divorced couples? How more cruel can these organizations be than sexually, emotionally, psychologically abusing my children? My children, my own children, were given to a divorced, white, racist family, or a divorced family. The man is living apart, the woman is living apart. They said their name is Mrs. Letitia Overdine, or Mrs. Letitia Vinches, and the man is Mr. Paul Vinches or Mr. Paul Overdine. You know, I know them as Mr. and Mrs. Paul Letitia Overdine Vinches, and they are divorced, broken up, not even living together. Oh God. Oh God. My children are constantly that is to say my children are constantly moved from one house to another house, even to houses where they probably do not know the inhabitants. Okay. My children are taught that it is acceptable and okay for them to be treated like underdogs and animals. That is what they are teaching my children. That it is okay. I will have all this proof. I will prove these things to you. My children are taught that it is okay for white children to be treated better and with better respect than them being black children. My children are taught that I and their mother deserted them because we are poor, uneducated, and primitive. My children are taught to have faith in the white race, but not have faith in their own race. My children are taught not to have faith in their own parents. These people break my children's will. They even break my own will. They break my children's will. They make my children lose faith in their parents, in their own self, in their own skin. My children are deprived of sound education. My children don't speak English in Holland. Can you believe that? They are deprived of their fundamental right to childhood. They are deprived of good food. They are deprived of, if you see my children sometimes you will weep. In this country of abundant resources, in this country of where clothes are cheap and thrown away, my children wear rags. My children are denied of love. They are denied of the fear of God. They are denied of respect for man. They are not educated with this. They are not raised with this. My children don't understand it. How would they understand it when the foster parents don't have love? Or how can they give my children love? All they can give my children is pain and agony and cruelty and disrespect. My children are denied of love. My children don't understand the fear of God. They are taught to disrespect man, not to have respect for their own parents, not to have respect for humanity, not to have respect for their own ancestors and their root culture. Most important, my children are conditioned to lose confidence in themselves. My children don't have self. That is how they are raised. That is how they are taught. Not to have confidence in themselves, not to have confidence in their father, not to have confidence in their mother. My children and myself, we don't see each other. They refuse us from seeing each other. We are refused from sharing love of one another. We are refused from sharing stories, sports, and family life. We are severely punished every time we try to see each other more often. Severely punished. When I mean punished, we are severely punished. We are severely punished every time we express anxiety about each other. Every time we express care and fear and love for each other. My children are banned from calling me on phone. I don't even know where they live. That is how bad it is. I don't know when they have nightmares. I don't know when they have anxieties. When I try to inquire, I say I'm punished. I'm severely punished anytime I try to protect my children. Last time I will come to that. I was punished for educating my children about their ancestral values, about their blood inheritance, about their Igbo culture, about their Igbo values. I was punished for that. I was punished for telling my children that I am an aeronautic engineer and for teaching my children about aeroplanes, about how to fly aeroplanes, about engines of aeroplanes. I was punished for it. My children were punished for it. I was actually punished for telling my children that I love them and I want them back. I was punished. And my children was as I said this last time, I was punished because I questioned the foster father on the sexual molestation of my daughter. Then she was just 6 years old and she was showing signs of severe molestation sexually. I was punished for it. The court punished me because I questioned what is going on with my child. I reported to the police and the police swept it under the carpet, went to court against me, lied against me, and punished me for standing up to my children. What are they trying to tell me? That it is right for my children to be sexually molested and to be abused, and that we do not have the right to stand up or to question. That is what the government of Holland is trying to tell me. Ezebuiro. Do you know if my children believe me, they are punished for believing me. My children were anxious, were exhibiting excitement to the foster parents because of what I told them. I told them that they have a rich culture and they have a rich heritage. Do you know that when my children repeated these things, do you know that the foster parents banned my children from seeing me for the next 6 months? Oh God. I told my children that they are prince. That my son, that he's a prince, and my daughter is a princess. That was it. My children naturally became excited and happy. I told my children that I'm not poor, and that I have cars, and that I'm an aeronautic engineer, and their grandfather is an engineer, and that their mother is a wonderful woman. That was it. For 6 months, they banned us from seeing each other. On the 22nd of December in 2017, just past December, the court in Utrecht rejected my appeal to see my children. The court judged that I and my children may be with each other only 1.5 hours in 3 months. This is what a competent court judged in Holland, in Utrecht. But as I'm talking to you now, I have not seen my children in almost 5 months. In the entire of 2017, in the entire of 2017, I and my children saw each other for only 2 hours. 2 hours. In 2016, 2 hours. In 2015, only 1 hour. I did not say 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months. I said only 2 hours. 2 hours. Can you believe 2 hours? That was the only time given to me to be with my children. That was the only time given to my children to be with their own father. And in these 2 hours, we were placed under strict observation. We were under strict rules about what to say and what not to say to each other. It is as if we were guinea pigs who are being used for some type of scientific experiment. That is how Holland is treating people like us. To be honest with you, I can't imagine a worse concentration camp. I can't imagine that there is a concentration camp that is worse than what I and my children are going through in this country. The court punished me. Wait, just hold on. The court in Utrecht punished me because I turned down the instruction of the RAAD for the KINDERBESCHERMING. That is the Child Protection Agency, and the SCHRIKKER group, which is also another child protection agency. Because I refused to accept forced foster parenthood upon my children. I refuse to accept it by these persons, these foster parents who I do not know, who vehemently refused every form of friendship with me. Every time I reached out a hand of friendship with me, they turned me down. They refused to associate with me. These foster parents have treated me with scorn. They will not associate with me. They will not even speak to me, even on phone. They won't even give me a fair chance to be a member of their own family or to be even a father to my children. I don't know where they live up to now. I don't know what they do. I don't know their values. I am completely shut out as if I'm a paid sperm donor. That's how they are treating me, as if I'm just a sperm donor. Even sperm donors will get better treatment than this way they are treating me and my children. The court in Holland punished me also because I turned down the RAAD from the KINDERBESCHERMING again when they instructed me to order my children to accept this foster parenthood. They said I should order my children to accept it. They asked me to accept that it is right and fair and proper for them for my children to be abused. That's what they told me to do. They said I should tell my children that it is right and proper for them to be abused, for them to be miseducated, for them to be raped, and for them to be denied of relationship with their biological parent. They said I should tell my children that it is okay for them to be racially segregated, for them not to have confidence in themselves. That is what the RAAD van de Kinderbescherming, the Bureau ZORG, the SCHRIKKER group, and the Court of Justice in Holland asked me to do to my own children. They instructed me to order my children to accept my approval of this type of life. When I said I will not do it, I was punished. I am not making stories. I have proof. I have proof to everything I have said here. I have proof. Everything I have said here and so many other things. I have not even told you so many things. There are so many things that I have because of time and space, I have omitted them in this video. For instance, the police has been monitoring me recently. They try to intimidate me. They lie against me. They pick me up. They lock me up for days with trumped up charges and excuses. And after they will release me, they try to intimidate me. They took my house. As I'm talking with you now, I am homeless. I've been homeless in Holland since 2010. Every effort I made to get a house, I've gone to the OUTCRY Commission, I've registered, I've done everything, I've gone to court, but they refused me from getting a house. They did everything to make sure my salary in the period of 2011 to 2015 was confiscated and was not paid till now, and I'm talking to you. The police confiscated my property. They confiscated